What's up guys, SP Architects here. Today I will show you Chaos in Vision and how you can render with it. Chaos in Vision is a real-time rendering engine and quality is similar to V-Ray. It's now a beta version, you can use it free. To do it, you will just go to the Chaos in Vision website and click this download beta. In this tutorial, I will show you the work in progress. To render something, of course, you need to model something first. You can use any kind of modeling software such as SketchUp, 3ds Max, ArchiCAD, Revit, and with which modeling software you like. After downloading the software and opening it, you will see this opening screen. From the top of the window, you can select your objects, you can pick up materials, move, rotate, scale, and snapping tool. You can place lightings and other proxy objects such as scalering. From the left, you can see the variation, environment, and camera. You can just create your camera and select between them. And you can just create environment multiple times. With one click, you can travel between them. From the bottom, you can see the placed objects and lights. And environment is here and other rendering details. In order to create a new file, you will go to File menu and click the New. After that, you will see your working area. To move, you will just hit right click and rotate the camera. While holding the right click, you will just hit W, A, S and D. Without clicking right, you cannot move. By the way, if you hit the W, you will select this move, E will select this rotate, and R will scale your objects. Now this scene is completely empty, we will just import something. To do it, we will go to File menu and click Import. When you reach your folder, if you click this menu, you can see you will only import V-Ray scene and V-Ray mesh files. So you need to create your V-Ray scene files for your project. For instance, if you are using ArchiCAD, let's go to ArchiCAD. Alright, here we are in ArchiCAD and you can remember this project and we have already rendered this with Twinmotion. But we are going to render this with the InVision right now. To do it, we need to export this to V-Ray mesh file. But unfortunately, we don't have any kind of options in ArchiCAD. So to do it, we will export this as an FBX file. Let's go to File menu and click Save As. After that, from the bottom of the window, we will just hit this FBX file and then save our file. And with the Save FBX options, we can select the surface and hit OK. Once we have done this, we will open our 3ds Max with installed V-Ray. Here we have opened our 3ds Max and as you can see, this is our model and import as FBX. Now we are going to use V-Ray Scene Exporter. To do it, we will go to V-Ray menu and click this V-Ray Scene Exporter. After that, we will determine our export path and then hit this export. Just be sure, or it's optional, you can organize your materials. I haven't set up my materials as V-Ray, so there was some errors. It's not important because we are going to set up our materials in InVision. Alright, here we are back in the Chaos InVision and we are going to select our exported file as V-Ray scene and click Open. There we go. We have imported our file and as you can see, it's completely white because we haven't set up our textures and materials in 3ds Max as V-Ray materials. It's not important, it's very easy to set up. To do it, you will click your model or you will click this pick up texture. And for instance, you can click this glass clear fast and it says this material cannot be edited. Of course, we will click Open Cosmos and you will see all of the ready to use materials. Also, you can reach this list from the bottom of the view. You will just hit this expand or click this Cosmos icon and then you can click this local library. You can click this Cosmos library. Materials, these are materials you use in your 3ds Max and this is the animation path. It's not important right now, I will show you later. Now I have clicked this cosmos and clicked this glass. After that, I'm just going to drag and drop this simple glass to there. Since we have exported our project surface one mesh per surface in Chaos InVision, we can just change them with one click. Let's move forward. Let's assign a brick texture on that wall. So I will go to material, click brick, and I'm just going to drag and drop this texture to there, just like this, and another texture to here. If you think your texture size is too small, you will click your texture and click this embed material. After that, you will hit this yes. Then you will click this little tile settings. It's very small. After that, you can click this lock and change this scale like this. I'm going to increase the size also for this brick. Click yes, lock, and increase the size. For the materials, you have too many options and even more than Twinmotion, because you can add coating, material, cutout, and foliage. Of course, there are these settings in Twinmotion as well, but you can use the strands is like of V-Ray fur, and we have rounded corners. Still, we now have in Twinmotion. And we have other setups for material editing, such as the tint color, bump amount, reflections, glossiness, etc. For instance, I'm going to change the darkness of this window. I will click this glass, click embed, yes, and I'm going to change the reflection from here as well. It's not enough I want, so I'm going to increase this index of refraction to 2. You will see it's way more reflected, and even 3. And for instance, I want to see tinted green like a real glass. I'm just going to increase this tint just like a real glass. It's up to your taste. After that, I'm going to assign some plaster to there. Go to material, go to wall. I will use this one. Not too bad. For the window frames, I'm just going to add some metal. To shortcut, I'm going to search for here, metal maybe, and I don't know, I'm just going to drag and drop this material to here. It's downloading right now. I'm going to edit the color after that, and that's it. Let's click the open for this, and fix tiling is too big. Change the base color from here, and maybe the tints, I'm just going to make it darker. From here it will be way more easier, etc, etc. Now let's hit escape a couple of times, and a couple of more material adjustments. The building will be ready. Alright, I have assigned all of the materials for the building, only the ground left. I want to do it with you. There is a couple of way of doing that. First one is adding V-Ray fur, and second one is using chaos fur and using scatter object, or of course using a very simple material. To do it, we will go to material library from here and click the ground, and after that we will just drag and drop this basic grass onto that for basic grass. But this is not good enough. We need to fix this. First method is by selecting this grass, and after that by clicking this embed. you will just click this strands and modify these settings. First we will activate this and increase this density, for instance 100, and after that we will change its scale from here, from the optimization, and I'm just going to make this 0.01. Let's get closer. I think it's too small. Let's click that once again. Maybe 8. After that I want to increase the density, maybe 1000. And this is a kind of method for the creating the grass. After doing that, you can just change the land thickness gravity band, or you can even make the variance for this. For instance, you can increase this length, after that direction and gravity, maybe. Not too bad. You can of course change its color. The second method is I'm going to add a dirt plant sticks maybe, or dirt gravel. It's downloading first, or dirt brown better is better. Let's fix its scale from here as we did before. After that I'm going to use the scatter tool. To do it, I'm going to click the scatter and then click the surface. After that we will click this done. We will see 3 menu here. First, layers. Layer means the objects you will scatter, and target will be your target object, such as this landscape, and you can select this exclusion area to avoid the area you don't want to use scatter. Now I will go to layers, and after that I will click this 3D models, vegetation, and I will click this shrubs, or I'm going to find this grass from here. There we go. After that I'm just going to drag and drop to here. You will see it's already been placed, and then we will increase this density. Uncheck this, maybe one more 0. As you can see, it's limited for this area because this is a slope terrain. We will select the scatter to fix it, and for the target, for the layer, you will see this max angle to up vector. We are just going to increase this value to see all of them. Maybe this is too much. Let's reduce this to 5000, and way more better. It's very realistic. I think the best method of making grass in Enscape. After that, maybe we can add some randomization for the scale, just like this. Just hit escape a couple of times and it's ready. You can continue placing the environment objects from these 3D models, such as these trees, by just clicking, dragging and dropping here. It's not working because there's an issue with the scatter tool. As you can see, it targets the scatter. So to work this clearly, I'm just going to uncheck the scatter and then place here. And this is our tree. It's very realistic, I think. Let's reduce the scale. Maybe clicking in the middle will be better results. Let's just place this to here as well. And this is our second tree. to move it, I'm just going to use these moving tools. Hit the R and scale this down. Once we have done this, we can add more vegetation to there by clicking vegetation. Perhaps maybe let's add a couple of assets randomly. Maybe this one, or you can even use the scatter tool. I'm just going to make this quicker manually. Hit the R, change the scale, hit W and move somewhere else. This is too big, let's reduce its scale and duplicate around it. To do it, let's hit the shift and move to right, move to right and move to left. Okay, after that we can turn on the scatter layer, and here we have our scene. Let's place a car. We can add this model to here if we can see clearly. Of course, as we did before, we will uncheck this scatter. It's a very big issue. I think they will fix this. Where's our car? Okay, it's downloading. There we go. Let's rotate. I don't like this. I will change that and I will place this pickup. Alright, let's presume that we have assigned everything and we are going to render this. And before rendering stage, of course, we are going to change lightings and other variations. First, I will show you how you can make the variations. To do it, we will click the variations, and after that we will create another variation. We will select this, and for instance, we are going to change this brick to something different, maybe this one. And after that we will click the save. By clicking these two, we will change our texture with one click. This is a very nice thing for our model. After that, if we click environment, we can create different environment settings. To change the environment, we will just click this environment, and here you can see the sun and sky settings. With the sun, you can increase your intensity of the sun and sun disk size. I prefer using class shadows off because I don't want to see any shadow on my scene. Let's go to sky and let's change the density. I will make it 0 and I will make the curves amount at minimum. I want to make this clear. Of course, you can use the HDRI. To do it, you will just click here and click this HDRI. You can change your other settings as you desired and your sun. For instance, you can change the elevation from here and rotate your sun as well with this tool. Now this is our environment setup 1. We can change another environment setup. This is general, and this is, let's just save a sunset. Maybe let's make this 0, and this is a sunset. We will click the save, and this is daytime, and this is evening. For the evening scene, of course, you can add lights into your project by clicking this and clicking this lights, one of them. For instance, this sphere light, I'm just going to place here, and I'm just going to move this to inside. To move faster, I will just hit the shift, and let's move there. Let's change the color to orange. And for this kind of scenes, you can use these methods. Let's increase the intensity and give some orange color, maybe darker from here, just like this. Let's duplicate to anywhere you want. For this, I'm going to reduce the intensity and use like this. This will create another variation, maybe variation 1. Let's hit the save. For the general, I will make them invisible, as you can see, and for the environment, this is general. And for the camera is very important. Let's add a camera here, and for this camera you can click this auto exposure on and off, and then you can lock your camera from the top of the window, so it excellently you won't change your camera position. For the camera, you will click this automatic vertical tilt for better results, and you can change your exposure manually from this list. You can change the focal length, as you can see, I cannot move the camera because it's locked. We can use these values. This is the general methods. We have color corrections. This is important. For instance, this sky or some color is too bright. You can reduce this highlight burn, just like in V-Ray, and add some contrast to your scene and other settings for your render. The filmic tone map is off. By activating it, you can switch between highlight burn or other filmic tone map. And also we have bloom, hue saturation, and other light settings. Let's say that everything is ready and we are going to take our render. To do it, we will go to render menu and click the render image. As we can see, we can change the resolution from here. The preset is just right there. The quality is high. Let's make it the maximum. And for the denoiser, we will select the denoiser from here, and we are going to select the destination folder with this folder menu. I will just determine my saving folder and hit the save. I'm just going to change something before, because from here you will see your FBX, your file, your project. By the way, we have this render size 100. When I opened the file, it was around 25% for the default settings. If you open your first InVision software, you will see around these values. You will just increase this render size to see the better results. Of course, your FBX will change according to those settings. Let's go to render once again, click render. Our previously setups just right there, and hit start. And this is our render taken with Chaos InVision. It's the same quality with V-Ray. Very nice. You have very powerful tools for controlling your render setups, object scene creation in your project while using InVision. This is still picture. So what about if you want to create some animation? Let's do that. Let's switch back to InVision, and from the bottom of the window we will click this animation. Here you can see our timeline, and this is the seconds. This is 1, 2, and 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3. These are seconds. You can optimize your variations, environment and camera just right here. For instance, we are going to use this camera, so we are going to drag and drop here. We want to make the animation 10 seconds, therefore we are going to make the length of the camera to 10. To see this better, I'm just going to change this length to 15 and change the size. As you can see, we have more options. Now let's go to the first keyframe. These are keyframes. With the keyframes, your camera move between them. Let's go to here. This is the default, and I'm just going to delete the seconds. For the 10 seconds, my camera is locked. Let's click unlock. My camera will move there to this position. This is our second target for the camera. After placing, we can move these along these sliders, and as you can see, the animator started. This was the very basic setup for the animation for your renderings. Of course, you can add more camera for your project just like this. And for instance, we can make this. I'm just going to move there, and I will click this keyframe. Go to here. This is my starting position. For the end position, I will go here. As you can see, keyframe automatically created. Once you play your animation, it will switch to second camera and continue playing. There is a keyframe issue here. Of course, you can fix it just like this. Anyways, you want to render this animation, you will go to render images. This time you will go to sequence, and then you will choose your file format. For instance, MP4 is better. You will select your destination, other settings as we did before, and this time this part is important. We are going to select our frame output. Unfortunately, we cannot see the seconds. We can only see the frame per seconds. Our frames 360, which means this value 15 multiply 24 equal 360. And by using these tools, you can create your architectural animations. Of course, before rendering and taking your animations, do not forget to use some assets from the Cosmos. For instance, you can add some people walking around there, standing, walking. Maybe let's place this child to there. Maybe a parent. Why not? I will make them closer, move them, place them closer. Some more assets. Let's go to furniture, outdoor furniture. We have a swing right there. Let's place it. After placing, we can move. And maybe under the trees. Way more better. And this was the basic tutorial for the Chaos InVision. I hope you have enjoyed with this tutorial. If you want to see more InVision tutorial, if you have any questions and suggestions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Until next tutorial, have a nice day. Bye.